Hello pre-calc students. Today I'm doing the walkthrough of the practice logarithmic equations. Alright, so the first problem is solve by taking the logarithm of each side, round to the 3 decimal places. So what I do is I divide each side by 600, because I need to isolate my term. I'm going to use my calculator, because sometimes it's just more efficient to do division problems in the calculator. So I'm going to input the equation 20,490 divided by 600. Alright, and when I do 20,490 divided by 600, that is 34.15. So 34.15 is equal to 1.37 to the W. 1.37 to the W power. Now, I have to convert this into a logarithm, so I find the log base 1.37 to the what? Swoosh across the equal sign. Swoosh, there it is, of 34.15 is equal to swoosh, there it is, across the equal sign W. After that, I'm going to take my calculator and do math, up, log base, so I can find the log base 1.37 of 34.15, and that's equal to 11.2155. They want it to 3 decimal places, so that would be 11.215. 11.215. Actually, that will round 11.216. That rounds up. Alright, that is correct. Moving on to question 2. Clearing annotations. For what value of x is the following true? The log of x plus 5 is equal to the log of x plus the log of 5. So after you find the log of x plus 5 is equal to the log of x plus the log of 5, you set up the equation so the log of x plus 5, and you condense the logarithm where you have, anytime you have the log of the same base adding 2 terms, you can multiply them. So the log of x plus 5 is equal to the log of x times 5, so 5x. Once you have logs of the same bases equaling each other, you can cancel out the logs and let the terms equal to each other. So x plus 5 is equal to 5x. Now, you have to solve for x, subtract x from each side. 5 is equal to 4x, divide each side by 4. Alright, x is equal to 5/4. X is equal to 5/4. That is correct. Question 3. So we condense a logarithm 3 times the natural log of x. Using the power rule, that will condense into the natural log of x cubed. 2 times the natural log of y is equal to the natural log of y cubed, or y squared. Minus 4 times the natural log of z is the natural log of z to the 4th power. Now to condense our logarithms, we group from left to right. So first they're going to find the natural log of x cubed plus the natural log of y cubed, or y squared. And so when you add logarithms to the same base, use the product rule to rewrite this as the natural log of x cubed times y squared, minus still the natural log of z to the 4th. Now, I have my natural log of x cubed times y squared minus the natural log of z to the 4th, and I use the subtraction rule to condense logarithms, where you have the natural log, when you natural log of one term minus the natural log of another term, the numerator is the first term and the denominator is the second term when you subtract logarithms of the same base. So that becomes the natural log of x cubed y squared over z to the 4th. And at that point, we cannot condense any further. So into the equation, I write the natural log of x cubed y squared over z to the fourth. All right, and now after that, I hit submit. I got the question right. I clear annotations and move on. Question 4. Let me close that object. You have the log base 3 of 243 is equal to x. Rewriting this as, so here, this is very simple to evaluate. I take my calculator and evaluate math, up, log base. I find the log base 3 of 243. That is equal to 5. So, I answer 5. All right, that's right. Go on to question 5. The log base x of 4 is equal to 2. Rewrite this logarithm as an exponential function. So, x raised to the second power is equal to 4. The base is x. Swoosh to the 2 is equal to swoosh 4. What squared is equal to 4? 2 squared is equal to 4. X is equal to 2. Question 6. All right, if log base x of 4 equals 2, then x is equal to blank. If log base x of 9 is equal to 2, x is equal to blank. So let's convert this exponential to a logarithm. If log base x of 4 is equal to 2, then x to the second power equals 4. We just did this one. X is equal to 2 because 2 squared equals 4. If log base x of 9 is equal to 2, then x squared is equal to 9. What squared equals 9? 3 squared is equal to 9. So the first answer to the first question is x equals 2. The answer to the second question is x equals 3. All right, question 7. All right, if the log base 7 of x equals 9, then x is equal to 7 to the 9th is equal to x. Here, 6 to the 4th is equal to x. So to evaluate, to find x, I just need to find 7 to the 9th and 6 to the 4th. 7 to the 9th power is 403.53607, and 6 to the 4th is 1296. So I have 1296 for, oh, don't want to get that one wrong by getting that wrong. But so that's going to be 40,353,607. 40,353,607. Let me look at my calculator just to make sure I get that right. 40,353,607. Submit. Got that right? Continue. All right. Now I need to do some logarithmic. I need to practice condensing logarithm. Notice that this log base 4 of 3 and log base 4 of a are in parentheses. So using order of operations, I condense this first. So using the product rule, the log base 4 of 3 plus the log base 4 of a, I have a logarithm with the same base, so that becomes the log base 4 of 3 times a, so this becomes 3a. And now I can, now that I've evaluated the parentheses, I can look out a little bit, times 5 minus the log base 4 of 6. So now I use the power rule to know that the log base 4 of 3a times 5, I can condense that into the log base 4 of 3a to the 5th. All right? So 3 to the 5th, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81, times 3 is 240, times 3 is 243. Let me double check that. Let me get my calculator. 3 to the 5th, 243. Okay, so that becomes the log base 4 of 3 to the 5th is 243. All right, sorry. 243 times 8 to the 5th minus the log base 4 of 6. Minus the log base 4 of 6. So that's 243 a to the 5th over the log base 4 of 6. So now, using the quotient rule, I can write the log base 4 of 243 a to the 5th over 6. And the question is, does 243 over 6 simplify? Dividing by 6, that's going to be 40.5. Okay, so that's not going to simplify, so I'm just leave it the way it is. So I'm going to find the function log base 4 of 243 a to the 5th all over 6. Save that, and then hit submit. Got that right? Continue on. Question 9. I have the log base 2 of 4x plus 4 is equal to 4. So now I have 2 to the 4th power is equal to 4x plus 4. So 2 to the 4th is 16. So 16 is equal to 4x plus 4 minus subtract 4. 12 is equal to 4x. If 12 is equal to 4x, divide side by 4. 3 is equal to x. X equals 3. All right, that's right. Question 10. All right, we need to condense the logarithm. So let's use the power rule for it first. You have the log base 3 of x to the 4th minus the log base 3 of y to the 1/2 minus the log base 3 of 2 cubed. All right? So now we condense from left to right. This will become the log base 3 of x to the 4th divided by y to the 1/2. And after that, I'm still subtracting the log base 3 of 2 cubed. That's 8, by the way. So now this will become the log base 3 of x to the 4th over y to the 1/2 divided by 8 over 1, which means that's the same thing as times 1/8. That's equal to the log base 3 of x to the 4th over y to the 1/2 times 1/8. So that's equal to, the final answer is the log base 3 of x to the 4th over y to the 1/2 times 8. So when I put in my answer, I'm going to enter functions, log base, the log base 3 of x to the 4th times 8y to the 1/2. All right. It could be a syntax error, but that is correct. So there wasn't a syntax error. Just making sure. Clearing annotations, moving on. Question 11. All right. Log base 7 of z is equal to -2. 7 to the -2 is equal to z. So 1 over 7 squared is equal to z. So z is equal to 1 over 49. 1 over 49. My fault. Clear annotations. The log base 3 of x to the 5th is equal to 4. 3 to the 4th is equal to x to the 5th. All right, that means that 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. So 81 is equal to x to the 5th. So raise each side to the 1/5 power. X to the 1/5 is equal to x.
Pardon this interruption. Teachers, based on the email from Coach Fowler, the leadership program with Links Church will be meeting in the cafeteria. Those students that were on your email, please release to the cafeteria for the leadership program. Thank you.
Unmute microphone. 81 to the 1/5 power is 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. Okay, is 2.40. Perhaps they want it in perfect form. 81 to the 1/5. All right. So I'm gonna write 81 to the 1/5. Okay, that's considered correct. Let's keep moving forward. Question 13. We need to condense logarithms again. So when we are condensing logarithms, you have log base 3 of 2 plus the log base 3 of x. Okay? And when you have the log base 3 of 2 plus the log base 3 of x, you have to use the product rule. This will become the log base 3 of 2 times x minus the log base 3 of 2. Okay? And now you have to use the quotient rule to find that the log base 3 of 2x over 2 will simplify just to the log base 3 of x. So the 2's cancel out. So the quotient rule, you just got to know that from your notes and then apply it. You find the log base 3 of x. All right, that's the answer. Clear annotations. Question 14. All right, condense the logarithms. This becomes the natural log of 2 cubed plus the natural log of x to the 4th minus the natural log of 5 minus the natural log of y squared. Condense, this will become the natural log of 8, 2 cubed is 8, 8x to the 4th minus the natural log of 5. Ezra. All right, minus the natural log of 5. Then you have, that's equal to the natural log of 8x to the 4th over 5 minus the natural log of y squared. And that's equal to the natural log of 8x to the 4th over 5 divided by y squared over 1, which is the same thing as times 1 over y squared. That becomes the natural log of 8x to the 4th over 5y squared. Yep. So we find the natural log of 8x to the 4th over 5y squared. Hit submit. Got it right. Clear annotations and move on. Question 15. All right. If the log base 2 of 3x plus 3 equals 4, then x is equal to, well, 2 to the 4th equals 3x plus 3. 16 is equal to 3x plus 3. 13 is equal to 3x. X is equal to 13 thirds. Hit submit, clear annotations, got it right, moving on. Question 16. We have to sorry about that. All right, subtract 4 from each side. The negative log base 3 of n is equal to 2. Divide each side by negative 1. The log base 3 of n is equal to negative 2. All right, 3 to the negative 2 is equal to n. All right, and 3 to the negative 2, that's equal to 1 over 3 to the 2, which is equal to 1/9. So our answer is 1/9. Hit submit. 2 more questions left. Clear annotations. Condense the logarithm. So you have the log base 3 of 7 squared. Log base 3 of 7 squared plus, well actually, sorry I didn't read that right. You need to make sure that you evaluate what's in the parentheses first. So it's a log base 3 of 7 times the plus the log base 3 of x in parentheses, so that becomes 2 times the log base 3 of 7 times x minus the log base 3 of 3. Then you have the log base 3 of 7x squared minus the log base 3 of 3. Now you have the log base 3, we have to make sure 7x squared is 7 squared times x squared. So that's log base 3 of 49x squared over 3. And that's, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to have the log base 3 of 49x squared over 3. Hit save, hit submit, got it right, clear annotations, move on. Alright, question 18. Log base 4 of 2 plus the log base 4 of 32. This is equal to the log base 4 of 2 times 32, which is equal to the log base 4 of 64. Alright, so 4 to the what power equals 64? Well, 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. Yep. So 4 to the what equals 64? 4 to the 3. 4 cubed equals 64. So this is equal to 3. Alright, got it right. That is all 18 questions, step by step. Hopefully this will be a helpful resource for your test tomorrow. Alright. Stop.